One.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 2020 BLC Business and Leadership Conference. It's completely virtual this year, and we're so excited to have you. My name is Melissa Duff Brown, and I'm Director of the Joseph Center Business Development Area and Illinois Small Business Development Center, Procurement Technical Assistance Center, International Trade Center at the Joseph Center. So this morning, we have our first ever business pitch competition, and it's also now, we pivoted to make it virtual. So what happened behind the scenes before today? Initially, there were participants from all over the globe that submitted submissions. They were reviewed in a preliminary judging period, and then 15 finalists were selected. And those finalists today will pitch live. How this presentation will go forward is we will introduce each person, and they will have 4 minutes to tell us about their business and their new ideas. After that, our illustrious panel of judges will have 4 minutes to ask them questions. And after everyone has had an opportunity to pitch, there will be a 15-minute intermission. At that time, the final tabulations will take place, and we'll come back live and tell you who won. Today, there is money on the table. So first prize will receive $5,000. Second prize will receive $2,500. And the third place winner will receive $1,000. So right now, before we begin, I'd like to introduce our illustrious panel of judges. First, we have Tiffany O'Day. Tiffany, if you'd like to wave so everybody knows who you are.
Good morning.
Tiffany, she's currently the Vice President and Community Accountability Officer for Associated Bank's Illinois office. With more than 20 years of financial services experience, Tiffany has broad expertise in commercial banking and credit risk mitigation. Prior to joining Associated Bank in 2014, Tiffany served as a senior portfolio manager with Fifth Third Bank, where she managed a large portfolio of small business relationships covering a large range of industries, including commercial and industrial, commercial real estate, and healthcare. Earlier in her career, she held various commercial lending roles with Bank of America, Merrill Lynch Business Financial Services, BP, and CIT Group. Tiffany graduated from Southern Illinois University at Carbondale, earning a bachelor's in finance. She currently serves on the board of Northwest Side Housing Community Development Corporation and is also an active member of the SIU College of Business Minority Affairs Advisory Board. Additionally, Tiffany serves as a trustee for Chicago Association of Realtors Foundation. Let's give everyone a warm welcome. Thank you for being here, Tiffany. Our next judge is Chantel Hampton. And if we could turn Chantel's camera on. Welcome, Chantel. She is a community development business banker with CIBC Bank. She has a BS in finance from University of Detroit Mercy and a certified treasury management professional certificate from Northwestern University. She has been in the financial services industry for over 15 years with executive level experience in business banking, treasury management, and retail banking. She is also the owner of VG Financial LLC. Welcome, Chantel, and thank you for joining us this morning. And we have Wendy Rice-Smith. Wendy is the regional president for Liberty Bank and Trust in Forest Park, Illinois. Liberty Bank and Trust ranks among the 3 largest African-American owned and operated financial institutions in the United States, with $700 million in assets and offices in 9 states. In her current role, she oversees the only African-American owned financial institutions in Illinois and considers herself blessed with a rare opportunity to hold this position. Prior to joining Liberty Bank and Trust, Wendy held management and leader positions with Citibank, Bank of America, and TCF Bank. Financial literacy is her passion. When she's not teaching Money Smart classes to young adults in underserved communities, she teaches time management and organization and financing your business at the Joseph School of Business for Entrepreneurs. Wendy attributes her success to God's grace, Christian values, and her loving family and friends. Thank you and welcome. So now it's time for our first contestant. Our first contestant that comes to us is Portia Percy. Please turn her camera on. Now, what we're going to do to make sure that everybody stays in the allotted time, I have my trusty timer right here, and I will tell you that your time starts now. And at that time, Portia, get started and tell us what's going on. And when you hear the chime, that's your time to finish your sentence, and then we'll open the floor to the judging panel. Portia, your time starts now.
My name is Portia Percy, and I'm the founder of Portia. Portia is the very first hair tool of its kind. It's patent granted, the very first smart tool, and is made especially for styling your hair on the go. So the problem that we're solving is that typical portable flat irons do not get hot enough. The ones that are powered by battery do not supply sufficient heat. They're only really useful on thinner textures. Another issue is that most portable tools do not have long usage times. What makes us different is that our product is made especially for thicker and textured hair beauties. No longer will you have to choose between portability and sufficiency like most travel-friendly tools, because you'll have the convenience of them both. Because let's be honest, it's pointless to have a portable flat iron that barely gets hot. On another note, this product will have longer usage time due to our innovative technology. We know that convenience is the new luxury. Look at the many individuals working from home due to COVID. What would a lot of us do without Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Google Meet, Skype, and so much more? If your product is a product of convenience, you are in demand. Portia is not only a product that's convenient, but one that is needed. No other company is making portable products that supply enough heat to serve this market. As far as the kingdom agenda, God spoke Genesis 12 to me years ago. He revealed what it meant through the invention. When I take this personal view of the scriptures, God said he would make me a great nation, he would bless me, he would make my name great, and I would be a blessing. So I started Portia Simple Acts of Kindness in 2014. I spearhead annual events and we help homeless individuals. There will be a foundation attached to the company in honor of my grandmother's legacy. My grandmother is a huge part of why I did not stop. In this day and time, influencers are a big part of marketing. We will incorporate this type of marketing strategy also. We will test different social media platforms to determine where we should be spending our marketing dollars. Participating in trade events and networking events will also allow us to raise brand awareness and form partnerships. So the hair market is an $87 billion industry, $600 million alone for hair straighteners. And at a small piece of the pie, we guesstimate that we'll take 12 million of the market share. We differ from our competition because our product is sufficient for all types and textures. Our smart technology will also enable our product to determine what specific type, what specific heat setting you would need for your texture. How are we going to market? How are we going to make money? Well, our business model is B2C, but eventually we want to be in different retailers and one day also in hotel chains. We already have a granted patent, but we're currently in the process of filing another patent to differentiate ourselves. We are so aware of the Blockbuster and Netflix case study, and we do not want that to be our business. We want to move with technology. We plan to raise enough capital to finish our development to release our very first MVP. Currently, I am a solopreneur, but I plan to bring on a team when I can. In my journey, I have been accepted into programs, workshops, participated in many cohorts to become more knowledgeable as a founder. Thank you so much for listening, and I welcome all questions.
Thank you for your presentation. And I'll stop the buzzer so it won't happen. The 4-minute period of judging starts now.
Hi, Portia.
Hi.
How are you?
Great.
Melissa, how much time does she have left?
How much what, I'm sorry?
There's 4 minutes for judging, so if you'd like to ask your first question.
Okay. The reason why I asked that is because I think there's more that you could have done in the beginning and throughout the presentation just to show us more about you. I think you did a great job, first of all. Your energy is amazing. But the opening, you didn't really tell us about you. You told us about the business. You didn't give us any type of personal information about you. And whenever you're a business owner, you are your business. And even though the product is important, you're somebody and convincing us about, how great the product is and how passionate you are about that. Your background, why you got started. I know you mentioned a little bit about your grandmother. Maybe go into a little bit more detail about that. A detail about why you started it, why your grandmother in that way, how important this product in this industry is to you. I think that if you did a little bit more of that in the opening, it makes the presentation that much stronger. Everything else is pretty good. Yeah.
Thank you. Wendy, do you have any questions for Portia?
Hi, Portia. I'm ready to purchase your product. I totally get it. Question, how does your price point compare to the tools that's currently on the market? And secondly, is this a battery? You pitched portability. Of course, we all could take our flat irons wherever we go. So is this a battery operated flat iron, or what's going on?
It's USB operated, but we have a new technology that's really going to change the game. I can't talk about that one, but because our patent is not finished, but it's powered by USB. But our new technology, our new energy, you will not have to be in a car. You will not have to be in a building structure. So it'll go off another type of power, but right now it's USB.
You have to bring that. Now that's your unique selling proposition. You got to bring that to the forefront.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Tiffany, do you have any questions?
No, I think Wendy took my question. I was more around the price point. Just want to get some additional information on that, and was also curious about the second patent, but it sounds like we can't discuss that yet. So if she could just acknowledge those initial questions.
Yeah. I will say that no one in the hair industry has done it. So we will literally be the first ones. And it's a God idea. So he gave it to me years ago. And I'm just grateful to be the first ones to be. And also the price point, we're going to be $115. And so if you want a really good flat iron, most of them, like one of the best flat irons are Baby Bliss. They're by Conair. And it goes for like $150, $170. And so it's really typical to have a really good flat iron. You can go to Walmart and get a Revlon for $20, but your hair is going to look like it was $20, So it just depends. And so because it is portable and because we have to have a higher usage of power that's not already out, our price point we think is very good.
Well, thank you so much, Portia. And that's a revolutionary idea. I'm excited for you and to hear each and every person. So we're ready to set up the next contestants. And so the next contestant is Laura Baines. So if we can turn her camera on so that she can get her presentation up and tell us about what she has going on. I'm Jess. I love hearing God-inspired ideas. I love innovation, and that is an example of everything that will take place throughout this conference, throughout this 2 days. So make sure you stay plugged in the entire time. Good morning, Laura.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm having a little trouble starting my slide and still seeing everyone.
Well, don't worry about seeing us. See the slides and start your pitch. As soon as it comes up, I'm going to start the clock. And if you have if you're still having an issue, then you're just going to have to, we don't have to see the slides. You can just tell us what's going on. So we have about 30 seconds for you to get that done. And otherwise we're going to have to start, and you can just move the slides on your side and you don't have to worry about sharing the screen.
Okay, I think we're going to do that because I still can't find the way to.
Okay, Go ahead.
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Laura Baines, the founder of Love to Children, Teaching After Retirement. The problem, teacher turnover, shortage, and burnout. I've been an early childhood educator for 27 years, and I've experienced this problem firsthand. When teachers leave, the teachers that are still there, our workload is compromised drastically. So when I attended Joseph Business School in 2019, LTC was created. LTC gives teachers more autonomy, greater support from school administration, and time to just teach. And how? Teachers request a task through text, emails, or the school's platform. LTC complete any educational task that can be done remotely. Weekly planning sessions, daily reflections are all used to make the process go smoothly, impacting the kingdom by collaborating in love. LTC uses social media to advertise and draw potential customers to the website. I'm proud to say I created this website using Google Sites. So I discovered something else I enjoy doing. I would participate in virtual conferences for educators, offer free trials, and because I know how to stay in my lane, develop a sales and marketing team. The education support industry has a current size by revenue of $16.2 billion, according to Ibis World. I use demographics of females between 25 and 43, psychographics, quantifications to come up with LTC's total revenue size of the target market, which is 160 million. Some of my competitors are Brightwheel, a childcare software, Hi Mama, also a childcare software, and VIP Kids, an online tutoring company. We differ in the value we put on our staff and our ability to provide mentorship. The business model is retired teachers provide educational services remotely at a monthly prescription of $500, distributed through the online curriculum or the platform the school is currently using. And if there's a fee to add LTC to that platform, we will incur the cost. Love to Children is projected to gain a net profit of $117,000 in the first year. We will reinvest to increase marketing and hire more teachers. While currently LTC is a one-member limited liability company, I joined this competition and BLC conference in hopes of creating connections and growing my team. I thank you for your time and have a blessed day.
Thank you. You still had 1 minute to go. Awesome. This time we'll start with Tiffany to see if there are any comments or questions for Laura.
Yes, good morning, Laura. Thank you so much. Can you walk me through logistically how this would work? So there's a need at a school or need from an existing teacher, and then they submit a request through this app. What happens after that?
They would be partnered up with a teacher from LTC, where we would collaborate and see how we can best serve them in the classroom, support them in the classroom. So it could be helping with lesson plans, helping with materials, communicating with families, communicating with administration, because at this time, a lot of teachers are doing remote learning and trying to manage the classroom as well. So LCC would be the support system to help with that.
And real quick, one more question. So what type of research have you done to ensure that there will be enough retired teachers that are interested in working on the back end of this?
I have not done research in the terms of excuse me. My years of working in education, I developed, I guess, a community of teachers who are retired, but I haven't actually did like a research to see how many teachers were actually wanted. I did a research of what kind of jobs that people, when people retire, what kind of jobs that would be, oh my goodness, more efficient to help with retirement income. So in that sense, I researched it, but
Got it.
as far as that's,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Let's take a question or comment from Wendy Rice-Smith next.
I apologize.
Okay, sorry about that. I thought you were gonna unmute me, but okay, Miss Laura, you're doing fine. You're good, girl. So, quick question: who's paying the $500 monthly? The $500 monthly subscription?
The target customers are child care centers, daycare home, child care homes, and schools.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay. So it's kind of like a virtual assistant to
Yeah,
teachers.
exactly.
Got it. Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Laura, you're doing wonderful. Calm down. I know it's your passion and it's all is well. Chantel, do you have any questions or comments? If we can unmute her so she can contribute.
Hi. Yeah, like Melissa, you're doing fine. Don't worry. I wanted to ask you about your marketing plan analysis a little bit. So, did you do any research about the competitors? I didn't hear that. Who are your competitors? Your business is something like yours.
Bright Wheel Software, and it was VIP Kids is an online tutoring company.
Okay.
And Hi Mom is also a Bright Wheel childcare software.
Okay. Are they in the state of Illinois or this is national?
It's in the U.S. It's not all of them not in Illinois. Some are in. I think one is in Texas. One is in.
Okay.
I can't remember.
Okay. What is your market size? Who are you planning to market to? And how are you going to start? Because you have a projection of how much income you're going to make. How are you going to get to that? What is your market currently? Where do you plan to market?
Chicago.
Yeah.
Chicago.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I had a few more questions, but it's okay. Yeah.
This contestant. And so, Laura, thank you so much. And everyone is so concerned right now because there's remote and distance learning, and parents are interested in how their children are going to be assisted and not fall behind during this time. But now we're getting ready for our next contestant, Tracy Hyman. So let's make that transition. And so this is truly global, and her company is Artel. Tracy Ann, your time begins now.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tracy Hyman, and I'm the CEO of Artel. Now, true story, this is Eli, head of the fire unit in the Grand Bahamas, and he has a team of over 10 team members who prepare for the hurricane season every year, doing fire drills and trainings. And they have at their disposal one fire truck to assist with search and rescue and evacuation. But nobody would have imagined the level of damage and devastation that a Category 5 hurricane, Hurricane Dorian, would have caused, with over 3,000 lives lost. Nobody thought that water would end up in places that don't normally have water, and that the evacuation shelters would become inaccessible. Nobody realized that even the search and rescue responders would need to be rescued. Nobody planned for such a worst case scenario. Globally, flooding has caused over 1 million deaths and billions of dollars in damages. In the Caribbean region, it has caused basically over 5,000 deaths, and since 1983, US 800 million in damages. Now, we at Artel decided to find out what was the reason for this level of damage and devastation. And from our research, we found out that it was because of poor planning practices by disaster planners. For example, they were using outdated maps. Also, there was a lack of the flood impact data on the actual people in the communities and the infrastructure at the community level. An assumption by disaster planners was that residents were at home when disaster strike, and this is not always the case. Another thing that we found was that the risk assessments being done by the disaster planners was that they were looking on the impacts of the flood on people, separate from the infrastructure, separate from the flood, as opposed to looking on all the impacts together in one integrated assessment. Well, we at Artel have created a flood planning and impact tool that's integrated. So you have people, flood, and infrastructure in one analysis. It's scenario-based, meaning that it doesn't assume that persons are at home. They could be at work or they could be outside their communities. And also it has resource indicators. So it's going to show you what resources do you have, your evacuation shelters, your search and rescue team, compared to what you actually need, all wrapped up into an artificial intelligence framework to help users make better decisions, faster and smarter decisions. So using the business model canvas, our customer segments are disaster planners, construction and engineers, and insurance companies. We want to help persons like Eli plan smarter so that he can preserve lives and safeguard property from floods using artificial intelligence. And we believe that this tool can reduce lives by 40% and also reduce damage to infrastructure by 20%. And our channels are there for customer referrals, attending expert meetings such as these, and also bidding on global funded projects like from your multilateral agency. Now, Artel is not only focused on saving lives physically, but also spiritually. So when we do our field work, we train the residents and we teach them, hey, you need to be prepared just like Noah was prepared. So our target market starts with disaster planners. The market is 30 million. And construction 120 million, and the life and general insurance sector 544 million in Jamaica and the Caribbean. And the emergency management market is expected to grow to 123 billion by 2023. So we are providing a flood planning and impact tool at a base price of 15,000 US per community and per flood zone to disaster planners, insurance companies, and engineers. And we expect to make revenues. I mean, at first we're going to make the first 2 years loss, but revenues of up to 400,000 US per annum with this particular tool. And our team of environmental professionals are more than able to get this done by using artificial intelligence to save lives globally. This is an example of our demo, our prototype in terms of the result that you get from a flood.
And your time has expired. Thank you so much for your presentation. We will open the round for judging. And this time, Wendy, let's take a question or comment from Wendy Rice-Smith first.
Hi, excellent idea. So necessary. And I can relate to that working for a bank that's out of New Orleans that faces this all the time. So, one question that I have is the $15,000, is that a one-time cost? Is there some recurring cost? Like, is this a service and software and consulting kind of a business model, with those three being the core revenue drivers? I'd like to know kind of a little bit more about your pricing model.
So that 15,000 is a flat price to get started, and that involves mapping and going in the field and collecting data in terms of people and also the infrastructure. No, so everybody pays that flat 15,000. However, when you want to now run the different scenarios, for example, evacuation, you may want to run early warning, then we start at add-on 2,500 US and up, depending on the size of the community and the area. So it's actually it's not a software, it's a tool. Based on our advice from our IT person on our team, we had first started off with a software, but then we were advised that being a startup, it will be hard to compete with a software because of the existing software. So what we would actually do is create the tool, do the processing, the scenarios, and then upload the information to a special site for our customers. And then they would go in and access the results from the tool, which is what you saw there with that graphic there. So it's done by community. And if I can share my screen, I don't know if I can still share the screen. Then I'll be able to show you what a community zone looks like. So, yeah, where is it? Yeah. Right, so this would be, right, so your cost in terms of per community zone. Okay, not showing that. But yes, so I'm having a little difficulty, but yeah.
So it sounds like then you kind of go out and you kind of do consultation with the customer, data analysis, and then you come back to them and present a disaster recovery plan or something on that level.
Yes, we do. So what is going to happen is that we're doing this before the event occurs. So what we found is that persons were not doing before. Right. So they'll be better prepared. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So actually it's going to be a lot of consulting hours.
Yes, it will be. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Wendy. And Chantel, any questions or comments?
Yes, this is a great idea. I echo what Wendy said. But I do want to ask you about this $15,000 base for everybody. I want to know, how do you think that's going to help you as far as with profit, especially when she's talking about the different consulting hours, and it's going to vary based on your client. So let's say if you have an area where it's much smaller than another area, would that $15,000 base still make sense?
So it is to do the whole package. It can run you anywhere between 2 to 4 months, depending on the size of the zone. So if you look on the screen, you will see that the pricing depends on these. It depends on the size of the population, the size of the community, the flood zone, the geographic features. But to make it simple at first, we start off with that 15,000 and then we add on. So we have budgeted a certain amount of time, because remember, once we start to collect the information on the different communities, if another customer comes back, a different customer comes back and asks for an analysis for the same community, we would not need to go out again, because we would already have that information in the database. So as time goes by, the consultation hours actually reduce, because then we'll be accumulating information after a while, and it would actually take a shorter time than the 2 to 4 months that we have.
That answers some more questions of mine too, because so you're not looking at this per country, you're looking at it per city, per town.
Yes, definitely. And building up a database. And just to note that the tool is doing flooding now, but it can be built out to do earthquakes, bushfires. It can be built out to do that, but we're starting now with flooding as a first phase. So you can imagine after a while, we'll actually have a database of the different hazards. And even though currently we're doing it for your disaster planners and your insurance companies and even financial institutions, after a while, this information could be made available at a household level to individual persons who want to know, when they're going to build in a certain area, what is a hazard risk like in that particular area.
We have time for a short question from Tiffany, if you have one, before we move to the next contestant.
I actually don't have any questions. I think Wendy is living in my head, so she asked the questions that I had. But I do want to say that I love this concept. And Tracy Ann, thank you so much for your accent. That's probably as close to the Caribbean as I'll get for a while. So great presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tracy. And our next contestant is Itua Igboni. Can we turn his camera on, please? I think it's exciting, the range of ideas and the range of services and products that our community is working on, and the innovation that we've seen already just partway through this session, this pitch competition. So I'm looking forward to seeing everyone's presentation. Itua?
Yeah, hi,
welcome.
Can you all see my, thank you. Can you all see my screen? Okay,
yes, we can. And your time starts now.
Thanks, Melissa. Hi, everyone. My name is Itua. I'm here to talk about a tool as a companion to your Bible. I'll talk about the problem first. It was about 8 years ago when I was sitting in church, and I noticed how frequent I would take notes as the sermon is being preached, and then there'll be a scriptural reference. I would have to switch between the scripture, like a Bible app and my notes app, to look up the scripture. And I saw that there was a constant friction between the two, where every time I would want to take notes with a Bible verse in it, I would have to switch over to a Bible app to do that. And I looked out for other ways to help make my experience good. So I did look out for Bible softwares, but I found out that Bible softwares, while they are good with theological study, they are very difficult for your everyday life. So if I want to go on a train, or if I want to journal my thoughts, it's hard for me to just want to say I want to take notes in a Bible software application, because it's not note-based, or it's not note-focused or journaling focused. And then I noticed that along the way, I had notes and journals in different parts of different softwares, because again, I've been on this experiment to find how can I simplify this ease of taking notes and looking up scriptures while I'm taking notes, whether it's my Bible study time or it's when the sermon is being preached. And then I also noticed there is this increase in trend. There's the link there where studies have been finding that more adults spend less time studying the Bible. And so I've been on this journey in the last 8 years to understand how could we take the Bible and bring the Bible into our everyday life or everyday experience of writing, reading, speaking, and seeing. And that is where Versmith comes in play. Versmith is a tool that aims to take the Bible and bring the Bible into your everyday life of writing, reading, seeing, and speaking. And currently our focus is on the part of writing. How can we engage your writing with the Bible? How can we bring the Bible into your world of writing? And this is where our first product comes in play. It's called Versmith for Notes. It's a note-taking application like other notes that you have for the mobile phone and for the web that leverages the power of Versmith. But what it does is, how it works is that you take your notes like you normally would, but however, if there are scriptures within your notes, if there is a sermon preached or you're taking your Bible study and there are scriptures within your notes, it's able to understand that there are scriptures in there and highlight it for you. So what that brings, therefore, is an experience where within my notes, I could look up a Bible verse. I could read the Bible while I'm typing. I don't have to switch to another app to look up the Bible verse or the scripture. It also brings about this experience where there are some times where I want to use different translations with different parts of the scripture. So sometimes I might want something in KJV, I might want something in the Message translation or something in the Amplified. And so it enhances that experience for users where I could, within my notes, as I'm taking notes, have within my notes different scriptures at play and translations to go with it. There is already a prototype that we've been working on that is currently being used, what we're currently using to test with customers, which is what you see on the screen. I would intentionally skip the acquisition strategy and jump over to the market size. I'll come back to that later. But for our market size, we're estimating this to be about 472 million. And the way we came about this number is, first, we're looking at the population of the US. We're looking at the Christian population and then broke it down further into what's the population between 18 to 49 and how many of that is smartphone users from iOS and Android. And then we came up with a base price point, which I would explain in the next slide. But the price point came about from
Your time is ended. Finish your sentence, and then we will go into the judging period.
All right, but the price point came about our one-on-one conversation with customers to understand how much are they willing to pay for the software. And so that's how we came about the market size. Thank you.
Thank you. Tiffany O'Day, let's go to you first with any questions or comments.
Sure, good morning. That was a great presentation, thank you. So I want to get a better understanding of that $4.99. Is that a flat fee, or is that a monthly, annual subscription fee? How does that work?
Yes, it's a subscription fee. That it's a monthly subscription fee. Our goal is to and the reason why we came about that is, one, again, we spoke to customers on their willingness to pay, how much they're willing to pay per month on a software, and two was we looked at the cost of goods, or the cost of how much will it cost us to make the product. And so one of our highest costs to be, one, software development, and two, from the fact that to use a Bible scripture in any way, you need to license it. And so the licensing of the Bible verses itself, talking to publishers and trying to broker deals with publishers so that we could come up with a good, even balanced price point for us and also for the publishers, and also like a good value point for our customers.
Thank you. And so how many subscriptions do you need for this to be profitable?
So we're looking at, our goal is to look at the first 1,000 paying customers. First 10,000 paying customers. We broke it down into 3 different groups of how do we go from 0 to 1,000? How do we go from 1,000 to 3,000? And then how do we go from 3,000 to 10,000? And so each of those funnels have like different categories, but we're looking at first paying 10,000 customers. That would help us at a break-even point. I'm a software engineer, so like cost of writing is already taken care of, but there are other costs that we have to look into, like getting designers, or again, like I talked about, like this licensing. But we're looking at the first 10,000 paying customers as a point where we're looking to break even.
Thank you.
You're muted, Melissa.
Chantel, we come to you next.
Hi, such a great idea. I love this. So when you talked about in the beginning that adults are more and more not using the Bible, you're probably referring to those adults that are around my age, the older millennials, younger millennials, or Gen Z. So we are not using the Bible, our age group, right? I'm 34. The ones who do use the Bible, we use the app over one. We use Bible app. So I want to make sure, I don't know if I missed this. This is going to be an app, correct?
Yes, it's going to be an app. So the app itself is for note taking. So like your everyday note taking. So you could use it along with a Bible app. It does not replace your Bible app. It's for your everyday goals. So like if you want to do an intense study of the Bible, we will direct you to a Bible app. That's where the Bible softwares come and play. But if you want to like take notes or do your own journaling, or you want to pour out your thoughts, the Bible app is good for reading the Bible, but it's not good for taking notes because you want your notes in one place. Go ahead, please.
So this is probably going to replace our notebook and not our Bible.
Yes, it's not replacing your Bible. It's bringing that Bible into your notes, okay, so that you could have one seamless experience there.
Your price point, like I think Tiffany went over this, is the $4.99 per. Okay, I think that's a good price point. I think that's something that I would pay for it at that price. So that's it. How are you going to integrate this with social media? Because the adults that are not using the Bible that you spoke about, they're using social media, and
yes,
the apps that we use for the Bible are all, connected to social media in some type of way. So how do you plan to do that with your market?
I mean, that's a good question. Like the tool itself, it's separate from the app. The tool could be taken into every place. So you talk about social media. If I'm reading an article on the web, for instance, and the article has a scripture in it, I could integrate with the web and allow you, while you're reading on the web, to read the scripture in place without having to leave the way you're reading and go to another tab and look up the scripture. So the tool itself is it's trying to take the Bible and bring it into your everyday life. So in social media, for instance, if there is a scripture, I'm reading something in my Chrome browser. We are working on a Chrome plugin that allows you to, when there's an article that mentions John 3:16, from within the article, I could read John 3:16 in whatever translation I want to. Also, like you talked about people who don't read the Bible, but if you have, like you read ebooks and you enjoy reading ebooks, and you want to read an inspirational book that has the scripture, rather than put down your inspirational book and go read your Bible within your inspirational ebook, you could as well read the Bible in there. And so the goal is, how do we take the Bible and integrate it into your everyday life, not just when you take notes, but also when you read it on the web, or when you're speaking, or when you're reading anything. So that's the goal. But our first target right now is writing. How could we bring the Bible into your writing experience?
Okay, thank you. That's all great.
Thank you so much. And that concludes this judging period. I will come to you first in the next round, Wendy. Thank you so much, Itua. I'm blown away by all of these ideas. There's so many useful and practical things. And it's interesting how it's come to you, how you can help us to do this so that we can further the kingdom. So that is outstanding. And so our next pitch will be by a team, Jasmine Percy and Lionel Pate. If we can turn their cameras on, let me get my timer ready so that we can, and I'll tell you when you will, and your time starts now.
Hi, my name is Lionel Pate. I'm a lifestyle fitness and performance coach and owner of Sophisticated Movement.
And I'm Dr. Jasmine Percy Pate, and we are the owners of Moving Forward, where our mission is to bridge the gap between physical and mental well-being. Research has suggested that residents on the South Side of Chicago have identified chronic diseases, health inequities, and trauma as key concerns that they face. Moving Forward will target this gap through specialized programming and community partnerships to provide access to high-quality behavioral health and physical fitness programming at an affordable rate, even in the midst of COVID-19.
Our company thrives off the holistic approach when addressing health and well-being. We offer an integrated behavioral health and physical fitness program, which will target our diverse and underserved communities located in the South Side of Chicago area. Our goal is to educate, train, offer disease prevention programs, and efforts to prevent and manage behavioral health.
Moving Forward prides itself on providing high-quality, evidence-based programming using a collaborative care model to integrate both behavioral health and physical fitness. We do this by taking a whole-person approach to provide assessments, including short-term and long-term services. We offer assessments to initiate early treatment to target physical health and behavioral health. We further offer a wearable, including a health tracker, specifically to identify high-risk consumers. Moving Forward believes that a kingdom business is motivated by God's purpose and not purely its own.
So as a business, we understand the importance of making ourselves visible. In order to secure our portion of the market share, we conducted research in buying behaviors, preferences, and greatest motivation when it comes to health and well-being. Moving Forward, we'll primarily utilize digital marketing as this makes sense in the midst of COVID-19. Also, a word-of-mouth referral program will be strongly encouraged. Now, the market size. Our market size, we're looking at about $44 billion in the health and wellness program, health and wellness industry. According to the 2010 census, the city of Chicago, the South Side specifically, has a population of 750,000 residents. Now that's 90% of that are minorities, African Americans and Hispanics. Our market will be 14% of that population. We will roughly secure about 100,000 individuals.
Moving Forward is a niche market and is set apart from all of its competitors on Southside Chicago. We are the first to offer both an integrated behavioral health and physical health fitness component in efforts to serve underserved populations and target those health disparities. Moving Forward takes a whole person approach as we believe that the mind and body are connected. We further offer on-site and off-site sessions for consumers who are unable to physically come to us. Finally, Moving Forward also has an income-based program and wearable that enables our consumers to be more efficient with their time.
Our business model approach is straightforward. We will educate, train our clients on how to mentally and physically overcome life's mental and physical hardships. Our timeline to profitability, in our first year, we're projecting to make $48,000 of profit in our first year.
Thank you so much for allowing us to share our vision with you. We hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much for that dynamic presentation. And we will go first to Wendy Rice-Smith for any comments or questions.
I'm sorry. I'll start by saying I love your energy. You guys got a great tag team thing going on. I'm pumped up and ready to go walk around the block. Okay. But I heard a couple of things, and I guess I'm not completely clear as a consumer.
Okay.
What I'm buying. Because it sounds like I'm buying education. It sounds like I'm buying a wearable.
Yes.
Okay. So I need you to kind of hone in on that a little bit for me.
Sure.
What does that purchase look like for me? And what does that service delivery consist of?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So first and foremost, I'm a fitness professional. I'm a fitness coach. And my wife partner, she's a behavioral health and in mental health as well. Okay. So I'll be providing a service of making sure intentional movements, understanding why your body is having possible issues, moving in an integrity way. And with her service, she'll be offering a service that's going to look at the mental aspect. The service that I'm going to propose, we're going to have a wearable that's going to really identify any type of issues. Like, for example, if you're in a position of falling, a fall prevention tracker, your body is not moving accordingly, your body's going to get a feedback to that potential watch that's going to tell you you're at a higher risk at this particular part of the day doing this particular thing or this particular exercise, or just basically everyday activity.
Yes.
And in the physical, in the mental aspect, I'll let my wife get into that.
Yes, yes. So just to give you a better idea, thank you so much, Lionel. You, a consumer walking off the street, you come in to Moving Forward, correct? And you say, hey, I want to work out. Maybe you're not interested in the mental health aspect. We take a holistic approach. So if a consumer is coming in, you also get a physical fitness component assessment as well as a mental health assessment to really look at if we're coming in with diabetes and we need to lose weight or high blood pressure, right? You're going to see me to make sure, hey, let's really explore what's going on from a mental health aspect and the way the mind is thinking to really target the holistic perspective of weight loss, getting healthier, maybe lowered high blood pressure, and then the wearable will help the consumer move forward by tracking those things and the progress that the consumer may come in with. So.
Okay, how much does it cost me to get started with you?
With me or Jasmine? I'm sorry. So the service, so the service for each individual that comes in is $575. Each person that comes in is $575, and the tracker itself is $100.
Okay. Which is comparable to our market size. So I'm a gym guru. You know, if you go to Orange Theory or any of your high caliber gyms, you're going to pay about $100 to $150 for a watch to track. However, keep in mind we have an income-based program. So even though that assessment is $575, right? We have partnerships. We have a nonprofit for those who are unable to afford those rates, because we are targeting those underserved populations, and we want to target the disparities for that population. So.
Melissa, I'll let some of the other panelists ask questions.
Yeah, we're coming up on time for that, but I'm going to take an executive move. I have a question.
Yes.
Can you tell us, many times we want certain goals. People say, I want to lose weight, I want to get healthy. And sometimes they try lots of things and it doesn't work. Can you tell me how central is the way you think and those mental blocks to meeting your health goals?
Yeah, and great. So full-time, I do that. I work in a clinic in integrated behavioral health. So I see patients with diabetes, high cholesterol, who have blocks, right? Mental blocks where they're not able to achieve their goals. Once they come to me, I allow patients to gain that insight, right? Through therapy, evidence-based treatment, cognitive behavioral therapy, or the use of mindfulness, so that they can explore what those mental roadblocks are and make progress in those areas. So absolutely. The mind and body are connected, and it's all connected to the temple. So I can't stress that enough. Yes.
That's wonderful. And thank you so much for your presentation. It gives us a lot to think about.
Yeah.
So,
were you able to see the slides? You were able to see the slides, correct? Oh, no. Gotcha.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Okay. Don't think about it. It was fabulous. So
gotcha.
Our next contestant is Timothy Lacy. And if we can turn him on and close Lionel out. Welcome, Timothy. I'll let you just get set. Again, those of you who are watching, please, if you haven't already, please download the conference app. Go to your app store and download BLC, Business and Leadership CONF. Please get engaged. Go into this event. You can chat in the activity feed. Tell us what you think about the ideas that you've already heard. Tell us who you think should win so we can take a look at it. And now, Timothy, your time starts now.
Hi, my name is Tim Lacy. I am the CEO and co-founder of Faith Brand Apparel. Whether if you're out on the town on a Saturday night or preparing for a Sunday service, or whether you're out on a nice sunny day with the family, spending some family time, or whether if you're out up in the morning for a nice morning run, or whether you're just out shopping for that next comfortable shoe. I think we can all agree that based on the previous slides that I've shown you, there's nothing in your closet and there's nothing that you wear on a daily basis, or even anything that you have on right now at this moment that reference what you believe as a believer in your clothing, which therein lies the problem. Based upon our market research, we found that there's a lack of faith-based apparel branding in the apparel market. There's no faith-based apparel branding that offers both business and casual wear. There's no faith-based apparel branding that offers dress from head to toe. And there's no faith-based branding that offers a diversity of style for each customer and each believer. And that's where Faith Brand comes in. We are a brand, a faith-based brand that will cover the total man and woman, no matter the style or the occasion, no matter if it's outerwear or business wear, or even our customer service and our quality guarantee, as well as our style. We are a brand that you can believe in. And our product line, everything that we produce is designed to rep our Savior. Whether from our shirts to our joggers, from our shoes, casual and gym shoes, from our shirts and hoodies, from our jackets and our blazers, everything is designed to rep our Savior. How do we acquire customers? The first thing we're going to do is go through social media. Secondly, we're going to do pop-up shops and road shows and Christian events. And thirdly, through promotions, percentage off, and limited editions. What is our market opportunity? If we look at the total available market, it's $5.8 billion. we're looking to, in our serviceable market, it's around 3 billion. And we're looking at our target in order to get into the market at $3 million. And that's 0.001% of the available market share. And as I mentioned previously, all of our competition, no one in this arena offers anything from head to toe up on the One Apparel brand. What is our business model? It's quite simple. We're going to brand what we believe. We're going to brand our faith in Jesus Christ. We're going to brand the hope that we have through our designs and our apparel lines. And we're going to brand the individualism and uniqueness of every consumer and believer. And also, we're going to do that while ignoring seasons. We're going to totally disregard introducing product lines based upon the season of the calendar. And what we're going to do is redefine of how you view collections, meaning that we're going to have different type of product launches throughout the year, and as well as having apparel compilations throughout the year. And what is our timeline to profitability? So we're projecting $1 million in the first year, and then by the second year, we're looking at $3 million, and we're looking to double our profits every year thereafter. And who are we? We are a team, a very diverse team of passionate and talented individuals, ranging from experiences in IT, executive management, sales, and media. And we also have a third generation that we have in training for reigning. And we have the advisors here at SBDC, right at JBS. And we now have a coming soon page at thefaithbrand.com. We're coming to every social media platform. We're a faith brand, and we're asking you to take the leap. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thanks for the shout out for many of you. With the Joseph Business School, we also have the business development area, and we are working with businesses all the time to help them launch, start, and grow and expand their markets. For example, our Procurement Technical Assistance Center opened in 2016, and to date, we've helped people secure $733 million in contracts. We have an international trade center where you can export, and that launched at the end of 2018. And with just over a year of operations, we've also already helped people to export about 20 million in sales. And we've been on the front lines helping people to secure pandemic funding and to help in business continuity. So thank you for letting me get a shout out. And so Tiffany, let's go to you for any questions and comments, and then we'll go to Chantel if we have time.
Great, thank you. I love the logo. Question about trademark. Do you have that trademarked already?
Yes, I do.
Perfect. And then if I wanted to purchase that black and pink one, where do I go?
Well, you can go to our coming soon page at thefaithbrand.com. So okay. We haven't had an official launch, but there is a coming soon page. And so we're working on a website to get all the product together.
Okay. So that was my next question, if you were actually selling product yet.
I have about 100 different items, 100 apparels, 100 shirts right now in inventory, but I haven't actually started to sell as of yet. I started prior to the pandemic, but when the pandemic happened, the person that I used for the printing and everything, they kind of shut everything down. So I just haven't ramped that back up as of yet.
And I want to make sure I give Chantel time, but I do have one more question. What's your price point?
The price point varies. What we're offering is different blends of shirts. So our price point is right on line with everyone else's price point. So you'll see shirts from $24.99 to like $31 to $34.99, depending upon the material that we offer on the shirts and the different logos and styling that we have.
Great, thank you.
Chantel?
Hi, I have a question. So it looked like in the beginning you're going to be selling blazers, jackets, business casual wear. Is that correct? I wanted to make sure.
That is correct. So the way we have it set up is that we're going to initially start off with t-shirts and hoodies, and then it's to grow the product line. The product line is going to grow to joggers, jeans, hoodies, blazers, jackets, and then also we're working on inventing a shoe. So both the casual shoe and the gym shoe. So we're looking at having a total product line. So we're not so much of the dressy type of product or apparel line. We're looking more like the business casual in a normal outerwear, but definitely blazer, a bomber jacket is definitely both for men and women.
That would be awesome. I saw on your the marketing plan, you were comparing your company with God is Dope. A lot of people don't know this. The God is Dope is not a Christian company.
Yes, I understand that.
You do know
yes,
that? Okay.
Yes, I know that.
Yeah.
I know.
So a lot of people, they put that on as Christian, but they're not Christian at all. They just ran with it because they got popular
Right.
money.
Yeah, I know.
So that was that. One that you could compare it with, which is a really good brand, is 316 Collection.
Mm-hmm.
They have all types of clothes, almost like you, except they don't have the pants. They don't have blazers, which I would love that. I have a Christian blazer that I can represent, you know, when I'm going to the corporate world, and also a shoe. That would be great. So that's great. You talked about the price point already, Tiffany. I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Timothy. Again, the diversity of ideas and finding there are so many practical problems that haven't had any solutions. And so I'm continuing to be excited about what our contestants have achieved. And so our next finalist is Jeffrey Connor. And so if we could turn his mic on while I get the timer ready. Hi, Jeffrey. Welcome to BLC 2020 Pitch.
Amen.
And your time starts now.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jeffrey Connor. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of JLZ Consulting, LLC, which is a system integration and technology company, solving problems with unmatched services for the now, the new, and the unknown digital world. This morning around 2 o'clock a.m., God changed this presentation. And he told me to talk on what I'm calling the Eden Business Platform. So the Eden Business Platform comes from Pastor Winston's idea of the Eden Project, where we're going to turn the West Side into Wall Street. And in order to do that, you have to have an IT infrastructure and systems in place to build that up. And God came to me this morning and said, hey, that's your impossible. So that's what I'm presenting, the Eden Business Platform. That will be the underlying platform for the restoration of impoverished areas in the west side of Chicago, and also from the city that I'm born from, which is East St. Louis. This Eden Business Platform will have something called an Eden Zone. And the Eden Zone is a 16 by 16 block area that will be pretty much have a boundary driven by IT. So you can kind of imagine it like the towers you have for wireless communication today. So there will be a boundary around this 16 by 16 Eden Zone that will be driven and controlled by the church. They will be the central command that will control everything within that platform and within that zone and so forth. How will it get paid? How will this thing get paid for? Well, I've been in the public sector IT for 20 plus years, and I can reach out to those people. I can reach out to Apple. I can reach out to Microsoft, and I can get those people with this mission of bringing back impoverished areas to the Garden of Eden, to get them and invest into to this effort as far as this Eden Business Platform with servers, with networks, with the whole shebang, that this could be possible. One area that I would like to talk about as part of this platform is the Be Fruitful app. The Be Fruitful app is an app that will pretty much in the mornings when people wake up, they will get the God's word right off the bat. So this app will present to them God's word, the Bible, devotions, teachings that they need to have every day, because we need that every day. And in addition to that, as far as the Be Fruitful app, it'll also have a business component, which is I'm calling part of the JBS platform that will be part of this Be Fruitful app. So I want everybody in this zone to be entrepreneurs. everybody in this zone will be profitable because they will be working and they will be working to their potential and so forth. The education will rise in this zone because there's a focus there. There will be a bank in this zone. There will be grocery stores in this zone. So you can imagine this zone being like a military base. I just came from one yesterday, and everything is on that base that you need. A grocery store, a gas station, everything. And in this zone will encompass all these components along with the underlying IT infrastructure platform, which is the Eden Business Platform. Thank you.
Thank you for your innovative idea. Wendy, we'll go to you first this time.
Hi, Jeffrey.
Yes, ma'am.
So I have to admit, because I had already looked at your prior presentation, I struggled a little bit with making the connection. I was very impressed with your presentation, the prior presentation. I fully understood who you were, what you did, and I felt that what you presented was very necessary. You did a good job in your first presentation with identifying your target market segments, markets that need a lot of organizational development to move into this virtual world we live in. And so I'm trying to figure out how what you're talking about now aligns with that what I felt was an excellent business model and very on point and timely. So I guess that's I'm probably giving you a little bit more feedback that I'm asking questions.
That's fine. Yeah.
Because it's I'm a little thrown off.
Yeah, I threw it off because that's what I got. Download wise, I just to be honest, in my presentation, I'm a service company, and we're pretty much a profit company. We don't have a lot of money that goes out. Everything is income. Is income that comes in because we're an IT service company, and it's a very fruitful company, with the market share being $484 billion as far as IT is concerned, and IT service consulting. So it's a lot of profitability here, but God just told me to change it. And he just said, hey, you know what? You want to solve a problem with what your company is doing, and the one big problem that we're trying to solve is that Eden project. Trying to bring Wall Street to the West Side, and IT is a main component of that will make that happen, and so forth. So I really wanted to move toward solving a problem using the IT services consulting that services that I do. So that was kind of the approach or the change in course that I looked at. But
okay. So under this Eden business platform model, is this a IT integrated service model for individuals, for businesses? I'm trying to make the connection with what the Eden business platform is.
Yeah, the Eden business platform is going to be the standardized platform for all churches.
Okay.
That will then be taken into these zones because the church will be the one that's begun running the zones. So it's going to be the standardized platform, just like you got Amazon Web Services. Sure. This will be kind of like that same service, but it'll be specifically targeted for churches and zones of opportunity that churches are taking over and trying to lead.
That's wonderful. And this concludes the time for this particular session. So I thank you for your presentation, Jeffrey. And next up is Jalon Brown. And if we could turn Jalon Brown on, welcome, welcome. And Your time starts now.
Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, I'm Jalon Brown, and I am the founder of Sahara Zone. So in 2020, we've all faced so many challenges, from a global health pandemic to rising unemployment. I've noticed that people are starting online businesses and side hustles to help support their families. On top of this, minority communities and their supporters have been fighting against police brutality and systemic racism. I've also noticed many people, as a result, have been actively looking to support and spend their money with Black and minority-owned businesses. The issue is there's no efficient way to search, compare, and support these businesses all in a single transaction. That's why I created Sahara Zone. It's a multi-vendor marketplace made specifically for small and minority-owned businesses. Our purpose is to help people sell, search, and buy products and services from small and minority-owned businesses, all within a single transaction. Our mission is to empower minority business owners and aspiring entrepreneurs, to connect them with supportive, loyal, and conscious consumers, and to create a community focused on economic advancement and equity for all business owners. Our vision is a world where we're as wealthy and influential in business as we are in pop culture. So our platform is an e-commerce site where owners can create a store and sell products and services directly to consumers. So this top picture you can see is an example of what a product page might look like, and it's very similar to what you'd find on Amazon. To the right is a screenshot of what the seller dashboard looks like, and this is where the business owners can manage their store, add their products, look at transactions. So business owners can sell physical products where they ship them out. We are not a fulfillment center, so they would ship out the products on their behalf. They can sell digital products, virtual products. If you are a hairstylist, you can have your customers book services through our site. The kingdom impact here is Genesis 1:28. God said to be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, and subdue it. So with Sahara Zone, we're making it possible for people to easily monetize their God-given gifts and skills and be fruitful. Our marketing strategies will include social media marketing, outbound marketing, freebies, and paid advertising. Social media marketing will be our main focus. We found that 67% of our target audience is on Instagram or Facebook. So our market size. Our target market is the BIPOC community. So this is the Black, Indigenous, people of color community, as well as their allies. According to Nielsen, this group is comprised of 120 million people. And in 2019 alone, they had a collective buying power of over $4 trillion. The current market mood, as I stated earlier, is they're taking a for us bias approach, which definitely plays to our benefit. Our competition includes Etsy, a marketplace for independent sellers, Shopify, a platform where business owners can create their own independent stores, and We Buy Black, a marketplace for Black businesses. Our business model, we are subscription and transaction based. So we offer monthly subscriptions that offer different tools depending on the size of your business. So for people just starting out, we offer a free membership for our side hustlers. So it's a basic platform and you get all the tools needed to open your business. We have a boss membership, which is $10 a month with a 5% transaction fee. And then the CEO membership, which is $20 a month with a 3% transaction fee. Our timeline to profitability, we're expecting to break even in February of 2021. And we will continue our beta testing through the end of 2020. Our year one revenue projections range from $87,000 to $133,000. Our team is composed of myself, Jalon Brown, a graduate of Northwestern University, and my boyfriend of 4 years, Eric Starks, a graduate of Eastern Illinois University. I am currently a data reporting analyst at a top CPG industry company, and Eric is an assistant director of marketing at Northwestern Athletics. We thank you for your time, and I'm excited for your questions.
Thank you, Jalon. Chantel, we'll start with you.
Hi. Excellent presentation. I loved it. Very familiar with this concept as I'm a follower of the We Buy Black, and also I think there's another thing called Black Wall Street. And I also have a friend who's doing this in Detroit, actually. So this is kind of the time that a lot of people are coming up with this idea to bring Black businesses together and have a platform where people can actually go to support them, because so many people are interested in supporting Black businesses at this time. So good idea. It's the time to get into it. My question for you is, I guess, what are going to be your differences? How are you going to differentiate yourself between, or from We Buy Black, the Black Wall Street, and other businesses that are popping up and doing the same thing? That's one of my questions. Another question is, how do you plan to grow your social media? Because that's going to be really important, because that's where people are going for that information. My little brother did Black People Eats, and he grew that. I don't know if you know what that is, but he's doing a lot of that with the Black restaurants. So, but you're gonna have multiple different types of businesses. So that's another question. Also, how do you plan to get the companies, and what type of companies are you gonna plan to get on your platform? So sorry, that was a list of questions right there.
No, thank you. So how are we going to differentiate ourselves? Specifically from We Buy Black, I don't know if you've been on there recently, but from our product offerings that will differentiate ourselves off the bat. I think that We Buy Black was great when it first started in 2015. But I think that Black and brown businesses have a lot more to offer than just African Black soap and hair products. So I'm really excited for the range of businesses that we will have on our marketplace. Another differentiator is the amounts and different products that businesses can sell through our marketplace. So a lot of different websites like Etsy, it's really just physical or downloadable products. So on Sahara Zone, we have the ability to book services, have virtual events, sell physical products, digital products, and more. So businesses can also offer subscription services, which I haven't found a marketplace yet that allows that functionality. As far as growing our social media, we are working with social media consultants. We have content calendars planned. As I said, Eric works in marketing and athletics, so he has a lot of firsthand experience with social media there. And I am blanking on your last question. I'm sorry, can you repeat it?
How do you plan to get your companies to the platform, or get Black businesses to your platform?
Okay. So prior to Eric's role in marketing, he was in sales for 5 years. So we have developed a very streamlined sales funnel. We have a list of leads of over 400 minority businesses. So they will enter our sales funnel primarily using email marketing, and then grassroots marketing. We're going to try to just go out and hustle and get the businesses signed up.
I don't want to take all the time. I have another question, but Melissa, you can go to Tiffany or Wendy. Thank you.
Tiffany, thank you so much. Tiffany, we have about a minute and a half. So if you have a question, please go ahead. Unmute yourself, please.
Yes,
There you go.
Sorry about that. That was a great presentation. Thank you so much. So I have a real quick question about your subscription model. I know the Side Hustler subscription is free. What's the timeline on that before you have to start paying?
It will always be free. So it is free, and there is a 10% transaction fee for every sale. So that is how we will make money with the Side Hustle subscription.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Wendy, there's about 30 seconds left. Do you have a question for Jalon before we end this segment?
Yeah, just real quick. So obviously people will jump on board if they feel you can give them a large amount of their business, a large amount of visibility. So what's going to be key is that you already have a huge following, because that's going to be a big seller for people to pay to be on your site as opposed to someone else's. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yes. So I think that's creating our following. That's where social media will come in, and definitely where the freebie marketing will come in. We read a book, Marketing the Jesus Way, and it said you have to prove your value to customers, which may mean you have to give away products, ebooks. In our situation, we may give out ebooks or different plans to help businesses start out and then structure their way up to opening a store on our site. So we definitely need to create that following on social media first so that we can prove our value, like you said, and then they'll be more willing and comfortable to spend their money and pay a subscription.
Thank you. Sounds like sowing and reaping to me.
Yeah.
So, Jalon, thank you for your presentation. And we are at finalist number 9. And Camilla Hillary, it's your turn. Please turn on your, there you are. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, your time starts now.
Hello, my name is Camilla Hillary, and I am the founder of Kingdom Academy and Kingdom Academy Mobile Learning Services. We are an institution that offers customized Christian education for those grooming the chosen generation. Having been a homeschool student, as well as a homeschool teacher, I understand just how critical it is to have options in education that offer a healthy balance between tailored curriculum and lively social interaction. That is why we have comprised the perfect ingredients to manifest this vision. Now, amid the pandemic, our goal to launch our school opening, it was postponed. But God did cause exactly what our pastor said he would, which was a disruptive innovation. So we are proud to announce the launching of our mobile learning services in its stead. Now, I'm going to attempt to share this slide with you. And let me know if you can see me, please, or if when it shows up. Okay.
Continue to go.
If it's not, I'm just
go ahead.
If it's not showing up, I'm just going to talk about it, and then I'm going to try and show you the main part of the visual. Okay. Okay. So who we are as the mobile learning service, we are a supplemental academic resource that prides itself on filling the education gap right outside of your front door. The problem is that schools across the nation have been closed due to COVID-19. And as a result, teachers and students have been forced to utilize e-learning options. However, many students need a more personalized, hands-on learning experience. So our solution, we will operate a fleet of mobile classrooms. And in front of their homes, each child will get a personalized experience with a certified teacher in a one-on-one pandemic precautious environment for a 60-minute session. Now, I wanted to bring your attention to this particular slide. I know you guys cannot see it, but this is actually a visual of what the design looks like. If you guys can share. If not, I'm gonna send it a little bit later to you guys. Can you see that?
We can see it.
Okay, so what we're done, basically, again, I'll try to explain it. We've taken a fleet of trucks similar to that of a food truck, and we have converted it to simulate a classroom. So we have a 6 feet socially distanced space, and in that space, we will offer that student help in whatever subject that they need. Now, who we service? We serve the entire Cook County area, children grades K through 5, and those with special needs. Now, please note, students do not have to be enrolled at our counterpart, Kingdom Academy. Our teachers are qualified to recapitulate the curriculum for any school that serves our grade levels. Now, what we do, again, we use that convenient home location. We take that mobile vehicle right in front of that student's home, and we provide them a certified teacher, exclusive attention to get assistance in whatever subject that they need. In this environment, again, it's 6 feet socially distanced, mandatory temperature checks, mask requirements, thermal intralight sterilization, and for a 60-minute session, they will get the assistance that they need, still with that one-on-one love. So the essence of this concept is, since the students cannot go to school, we are going to take the school to them. Now, financially here, we are projected, well, first of all, a large part of our marketing is to market to schools themselves. Many of the schools, because of the pandemic, their budgets have been reallocated. So our cost per session is $100 an hour. And what we've done is try to contract with various schools, and we are going to sell. So the way it works, we have 15 trucks, 10 hours a day. Our work hours are from 6 to 6. 10 hours of those will be actually used to service the students, 5 days a week. And what we do is we sell that number of hours to that institution.
And your time is Sorry. And we will start the questions with Tiffany.
Actually, excuse me, thank you for that. I actually really like this concept. I want to dig a little bit into the model in terms of you marketing specifically to the schools. Has there been any thought around marketing directly to parents? Well, how does the school identify what students may be able to utilize?
Well, that's our largest market, the school. But our services are offered directly to parents, to schools, and to any other institution that may want to supplement that educational gap. So we do service directly to schools, but our largest market, we do service directly to parents because we do service like that tutoring service, that supplemental education gap. However, schools, we do contract with schools because during this pandemic, they are recognizing that many students are not logging on e-learning. A lot of people are not responding to e-learning. So they are contracting with us for the students that have the biggest need. And then we are going to go and service their students based on what that school or that teacher's recommendation, if you will.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. I really wanted to show you guys this visual. I
understand. Wendy, you're next. If you'd like to do you have any questions for Camilla?
Yes. So is this support happening? Because it's like you're serving one pupil at a time.
Exactly. That's exactly what we're doing.
Is this support happening at $100 an hour? Is this support happening during the school? What time of the day is this happening? Is it yeah.
Our hours of operation are from 6 to 6. And so whatever that scheduled time slot is, so they may be scheduled for any time during that day. So at 7 a.m., at 9 a.m., it just depends on the website. They will schedule that time frame, that time bracket, or whatever that's the time slots that the school have contracted with. And then we'll service the student in front of their home for that allotted hour. All of our teachers are, like I said, certified. What they've been doing, what we've done is we've hired a group of teachers who are working 1099 as independent contractors to service these students and give them that personal attention as a teacher tutor.
So it seems like a lot of overhead to have a truck that you have at one location serving one person for 1 hour. And so with that, I'm questioning inside, how are you going to scale without carrying a lot of overhead?
Well, that's the thing. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we actually don't plan to have that much overhead because once we have simply the lease cost that we pay per month, from that $100, we are paying our teacher and our driver, which is under the $50 mark. So we will be we're actually expected in our first year to generate $1,980,000, and $894,000 of that is going to be net profit. And then in our second year, we're scaled to get $3.9 million. And then in year 23, we're scaled to get $3.9 million as well. And I wish that again, something
you have. How many? The truck is going to cost some money.
15. We have 15 trucks and we're leasing them. So we are only paying a lease a month. We have 15 trucks. All of them, they're under $1,000 lease per month, the cost. So that's all a part of our direct cost that we've already incorporated. And then by the first year, once we profit, those trucks will be paid off.
I would invite you to just kind of revisit the real cost of the truck, the fuel, the insurance, and the driver, and really kind of map how many services you can provide with 15 trucks to one individual at $100 an hour? The numbers just, I'm struggling with the numbers.
Well, so let me help. Okay, so like so if we do 15 trucks, let's just take a day for instance. If we do 15 trucks rolling out per day, okay, and then we do 10, they're working 10-hour days. So let's do 15 trucks times 10. So that's 150. I'm sorry, 150. 10 trucks times 10 hours. 150 times 15. So 10 times 15 times 15. So that's $2,250 per day. Okay.
And
then we're gonna.
The judging time has concluded. And so we thank you, Camilla, for your presentation. And just along with Wendy's, what I would ask you to go back and take a look at, you're going to have transportation time between locations. And so that full 10 hours is not necessarily going to be billable. And you can
Well,
also
that's why it's a 12-hour slot.
I understand, but I invite you after this session to come to the Small Business Development Center and meet with an advisor, and we'll help you move and refine your plan. But thank you for your presentation today. And now we'll go on to the next contestant, Omokehinde Omgombor. Otherwise known, I'm going to call you Kenny, as you told me I could. If we could unmute her and turn her on. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, all. I really thank God, and thanks to Dr. Bill Weinstein and Dr. Veronica Weinstein. It is true in the light, I see light. I really appreciate that. And I really appreciate my Capital One Bank helping my business.
Absolutely.
My name is Omokehinde.
Your time starts now.
Oh, I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Okay, my name is Omokehinde Ogumbo, and I remember growing up in Nigeria, my dad being an engineer, my husband an engineer, my brother's engineer, my daughter, and my sister architect. I always loved to cook, to create. And my line is just a different line. And I remember during Christmas time, Dad would give us money, for just to spend. And everybody would just go to the store, enjoy themselves. I always go to the library, get a book, and start cooking, start creating. Eventually, I was able to get into the vocational. Then coming here, I just put it aside. But in 2013, I was able to start the business as a food truck in Washington, D.C. And in 2016, I moved up to an ice cream truck, which was pretty good, and I really appreciate that. And in doing that, like while I was in D.C., my customers are always tourists. And my best customers are children, because you make them happy with my ice cream truck. And being an entrepreneur elevates me. It actually helps my faith from a kind of a scheduled payment, an income, 2 weeks income, a month income, to kind of a right away on time now. And that's faith, because sometimes you go there, you might have somebody, you might not have somebody, but that's helped my faith to grow. And the way I reasoned before, money would just drop in your lap, is not like that. You really have to work, and God bless the work of your hand. In the process, I could pay my tithe. I could be part of the kingdom, help my church or other good Christian foundation to help in whatever they're involving about the kingdom. That is pretty good. And another thing I like to do is the Avila Kitchen needs to grow, because I can't just be on the road 24/7. We have to have a stable place, because our business is pretty good. I have good, reasonable customers that always want to come back. And if they don't know exactly where to meet you at a certain time, they need a kind of a specific place to always meet you. So it has to grow, be in a place, and not just seasonal, but even kind of expand to other things, other products that can move year round. And also, Avila Kitchen, in future, definitely being an employee, we like to employ, because it's just a family business, but eventually have to grow to help, in future, to be able to help people. And another thing about this business for now is everything is virtual, which makes it interesting to be able to service my customers virtually, which I was able to do that when it comes to advertisement, through my flyers, word of mouth, and now I have to create a website. Then eventually, through that, I have to do that to build a business. So it's pretty much, it has been a good business. I really thank God for that. And while in DC, there are events that I'm called events like the DC Emancipation is one of my largest events. And you have to be there to serve people and help people individually. And being on the street, I was able to meet a lot of people, different culture, different ethnicity. And there are good people out there that just support the business, encourage you in what you're doing. And that's pretty, very, very interesting to be an entrepreneur, to come out of your shell and just do something for yourself. In the process, I was able to pay my tithes. I was able to pay tax as well, my community, which is very interesting. And there are times that are to attend games for the children, my son's school, or other places invite me, sometimes offices, sometimes small gatherings like birthday parties, and they just contact you one time and they're able to reach you and you're able to deliver what you need to do. So it's been
Your 4 minutes is concluded. Please finish your thought.
So
and then we'll go to Tiffany for the first comment or question.
So I really appreciate your time for us to come out here. Thank you so much.
Tiffany?
Yes, thank you so much. And my apologies, I may have missed some of what you said because I'm having some audio issues on my side. So if my question, if you already answered it, forgive me. So can you talk a little bit about exactly what you sell? I missed that.
It's an ice cream truck.
Okay.
It's an ice cream truck.
So how are you doing that in a virtual environment?
At this point in time, it's pretty hard. I've not been able to do much at all with this because normally I'm always outside. It has to do with events, gatherings, and stuff like that. But with this pandemic thing, it just makes everything just shut down. Kind of. That's what happened. But before that time, it's always a good business and it's pretty seasonal. So that's another thing I'm looking into, not just seasonal, to now go into, because I'm into baking as well, to kind of expand and just do that much more than. And you need a space to do that because it's a food truck. I mean, there's no more space, to do stuff like that. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Chantel, do you have a question or comment?
That was my question, what she actually sells. So right now, you only have the ice cream truck, and currently you're not selling anything due to the pandemic. Is that what you said?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you plan to, like you said, go to the website or Grubhub or anything else where you could actually service people, during the pandemic?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Do you plan to utilize a website or Grubhub or any of those other, platforms to be able to sell your product during the pandemic?
Yes, ma'am. I'm thinking about that too. Yes, that's one of the major things I'm thinking about because it has to open and keep moving. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kenny, for your presentation. And we go to our next contestant coming up. So what does it say? Come on down. Natasha Pham, please turn on her camera so we can let her know. Hello.
Hello.
All righty. Let me get your clock ready. And Natasha, welcome to the BLC 2020 pitch. And your time starts now.
Well, hello, everyone. I am Natasha Pham, founder and CEO of Code Classic Apparel, an e-commerce company that sells men's apparel designed to uplift men's spirits. Why? Because they need it. We live in a time where being bombarded with negative opinions and unsolicited criticism have become our norm. And as a result, men have begun to lose value in themselves. I cannot count how many hours I have spent pulling my male friends and family members out of a dark place simply by reminding them of who they are. So in order to combat the negative energy, we've decided to redirect people to focus on what's important, which is the character of a man. We've designed an entire brand that allows you to see the heart of a man simply by looking at the shirt he is wearing. We have 7 collections. Each collection represents a specific virtue. Our pure gold collection symbolizes having a piece of gold and it's covered in dirt and grime, and you send it through the fire, which represents the hardships and trials and tribulations in life. You send that piece through the fire and you're left with a strong, pure, precious metal. This collection is for any man that has gone through so much, yet he is still standing. And with each collection, you will notice that virtue is hidden in Greek writing. This collection translates to the virtue patience. Customer acquisition strategy. How are we going to do this? Well, we are going to go in the highways and the byways. In other words, Facebook. We're going to use Facebook to launch several campaigns to build brand awareness so that people have a full understanding of our mission and the symbolism behind each collection. The collections will be launched individually, and we are planning to convert the believers of the brand into paying customers. Meet John. John is a cutie pie who is between the age of 24 and 44. He makes at least $50,000 a year. He loves shopping online, and he is for anything inspirational. And according to Reference USA, John is one of 435,000 potential customers in Illinois. Now, if we can get every last one of them to buy that signature logo tee that John is wearing, we can bring in a potential revenue size of $17 million, which is a small fraction of a $23.3 billion industry. And speaking of, we know that Amazon holds the greatest share at 20%, but I do not consider Amazon to be our greatest competitor. Brands like Positive Gear and Good Man Brand share our same philosophies in terms of making a positive change in the world using apparel, but we do not use simple messages like be happy. Our apparel actually directly edifies the customer that's wearing it. And 3% of our revenue is going to the Exoneration Project because we believe that no man should be in jail for a crime that he did not commit. Business model simple, get inventory, get the customers, send them to our website. We're going to ship out the product in customized mailer bags and give them incentives to return. Are we profitable? Absolutely. Each logo tee yields a gross profit of $28.65 with monthly expenses of about $1,300. We can break even with selling 46 shirts. At 900 shirts sold, we'll be debt-free. 23,000 shirts sold, we can bring our production in-house, cut out outsourcing, and cut our cost of goods by 57%. With that kind of decrease, we can reach $1 million with 28,000 shirts sold. I'm Natasha Pham. I am a graduate of the 2018 Joseph Business School class. I'd like to thank the SBDC for helping me out and my beautiful graphic designer, Jade Simone. This is Code Classic Apparel for Kings of Character.
Just love the shout outs. You finished in less than 4 minutes. Excellent. Wendy, if you'd like to unmute, we'll go to you first for a comment or question.
I'm sold. It's sleek, it's simple, it's powerful, it's executable. It's awesome. I just think that you're very kind, you're very clear, you're concise, you're succinct, you know exactly what you want to do, who you're targeting, what this is all about, and it's translatable, and I think it's going to be well received, so good job.
Thank you, Wendy. Chantel, do you have a question or a comment?
Great presentation.
Thank you.
I have a question for you. How does your price point compare to that of your competitors? And it was $39.99 for the shirt.
Yes.
How does that compare?
Yeah, so the logo tees that start at $39.99, the collections will start at roughly $60. Pure Gear, Positive Gear, Jesus. Positive Gear brand and Good Man brand are on both spectrums. Positive Gear is more on the cheaper side. They start at $25. Good Man brand starts more at $68. So I'm right in the middle.
And does the quality and the t-shirts and the way you're gonna put the logo, does all that compare to Good Man? Like, what are you gonna be using for that?
So I don't want to toot my own horn. Of course, I think I'm better than Positive Gear. Good Man brand, they don't really have any logo heavy symbolism in their clothes. So their clothes are more like button up, but it's designed to have a man bring out the best in himself. But it's kind of cliche. It's just, you just look good because your shirt looks nice in stripes. So in terms of the cost effectiveness and our price point, ours is directly related to the cotton that we have, the quality of it being the soft tee, ring spun, things like that, and the symbolism behind what our logos stand for, excuse me.
Thank you, Chantel. We have time. We have about a minute. Tiffany, do you have any questions or comments for Natasha?
Yes, Natasha, great presentation. Thank you so much. Question is not so much around the product or the business, just want to get an idea of who you are. Can you give me a little idea on your background?
Oh, so I graduated from the JBS, but I am really an actress. So I tend to use my personality, which is as bubbly as it is, to just pull people out of negative spaces. And I believe what's going to set me apart from my competition is that instead of focusing on simple product marketing, mine is going to be based heavily on storytelling. So I'm going to use different avenues to get the brand across through animation, video, comedy. All of these different avenues is going to pull attention to my brand versus others, because I won't be going the traditional route of simply selling a shirt.
Great. And then one last question. Sorry, to go back to one of your slides. You mentioned that your target market was primarily Illinois. Was that correct?
Yes, to start.
To start. Okay.
I'm pretty confident we're going to branch
But you're
out
doing
beyond that.
online sales, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, I just want to make sure you don't limit yourself.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation. And I'm ready to buy one for my husband because he is pure gold. And we will go, have to give him a shout out. Apologies. And we'll go to the next contestant, Tara McKnight. You're up. Please turn on your video.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great.
Your time starts now.
Let's do this. Blessings. My name is Tara McKnight, and I'd like to present my company to you, Virtue Ninja, The Good Fight. My agenda is to discuss a massive problem, recommend an ingenious solution that describes my product, my customer acquisition strategy, my market size, what differentiates us from the competition, and I will conclude with a bio of the founding team. The problem we are tackling is we hear so many different stories about incest, child rape, child molestation, child sexual assault, and child sexual abuse. And the zeitgeist has manifested the #MeToo movement. The truth is 90% of victims know, like, or live with their abuser. Whether you call it child molestation, sexual assault, sexual abuse, rape, or incest, every 9 minutes, Child Protective Services substantiates or finds evidence for a claim of child sexual abuse in children as young as newborns. Victims are 4 times more likely to spend the remainder of their life with significant mental health issues, such as PTSD and drug addiction. So in 2013, I wrote a children's book entitled Hope by Virturinity that helped parents and caregivers teach children how to protect their personal space in hopes of keeping their innocence. And then I researched that 47% of 8 to 11-year-olds own their own tablet and 35% own their own smartphone, while 50% of 12 to 15-year-olds own their own tablet and 83% own their own smartphone. Next year, there will be 3 billion people on social media. I'm going to utilize these online platforms in an educational and fun manner. Thus, Virtue Ninja is born. Virtue Ninja is the mobile phone video game app that will teach users how to remain focused, technical difficulties, that will teach users how to remain focused on their long-term goals while they amass jewels and cryptocurrency when they respond virtuously to temporary short-term distractions. For instance, users will practice confidence, enabling them to boldly defend their personal space to lessen the chance of a sexual assault. There are more than 2 million monthly social media users. And our customer acquisition strategy will consist of targeted social media marketing and advertisements, as well as email marketing campaigns. The US Census Bureau reported that 38%, or 29 million children, are between 5 to 11 years old. Those households with more than $35,000 annual salary and with children over the age of 5 are our primary market to purchase the app, while our 501c3 nonprofit Virturinity will donate mobile devices to indigent children with the app already downloaded. Virtue Ninja differs from the competition by being the first to boldly have a personal mission to eradicate child sexual assault through technology. Additionally, parents can allow children to play Virtue Ninja without worry about sneaky in-app advertisements. Further, the user gets real-life goals to focus on while vacillating how to respond to various daily critical scenarios. Most importantly, Virtue Ninja enhances conflict resolution in a fun and engaging ninja blocking style. I am uniquely qualified to own and steward this business, as I have seen firsthand how childhood sexual abuse can have debilitating effects into adulthood. I'm blessed to be able to graduate in May 2021 with my law degree from Tulane. I'm also enrolled in Tulane's business school, as well as the Joseph Business School. My military background solidifies my focus and discipline to grow this disruptive business exponentially, as well as to help as many children as possible to avoid being victims of sexual assault. In conclusion, these are the items I have discussed. Please let me know if there are additional questions.
Thank you for that presentation. And one of the things that I also like about kingdom-focused entrepreneurs, we're not afraid to tackle serious issues because it's still a problem that needs to be addressed. So we thank you for that. And I will go to Tiffany, if you'd like to unmute yourself.
Great, thank you so much. It's a great presentation. So I have a question just logistically in the actual app. Can you confirm that there's no interaction between the kids in the actual app?
I'm sorry?
So like if there's a child who is in the app or playing the game, they're not interacting with other children in the game, correct?
Oh, that's correct, yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, just from a, these things can be a, predator.
Right,
right. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
That's correct.
Let's go to Wendy. Please unmute yourself if you have a question or comment.
Again, excellent presentation. I didn't know you had written a book because I had a chance to look at your presentation prior. So that was helpful to know, and that this is actually just the next level.
Yes.
You've taken it to the next level. And, I think that you're well on your way to something pretty fantastic and life-changing and life-saving.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so I guess I don't remember, what is the cost for the app? What are the numbers?
So for one level, it's going to depend largely on how many hours the developer puts into the game. So for one level, the current level that I've created so far is cost me $10,000, and they've put more than 300 hours into it. And what I've noticed is I need to allot between 300 to 500 hours, because at the end of the game is where I go back and I say, oh, we should have done this, or let's do this and let's do that. So I need to allot more for those last minute items that I'd like to see. So between 10,000 and 12,000 with this particular developer to start is where we are now.
And what is it going to cost the parent? What is the parents? Tell me about the pricing.
Yes, ma'am. So first, let me say that I only need, if I sell the game for $15, because I don't want to do in-app advertisements, right? An in-app advertisement account for 25,000 or sometimes between 3 to 22,000 daily in revenue for different gaming companies, right? So I don't want to do in-app advertisements because I want to kind of control, like Tiffany was saying, who has reach and contact with these children, right? Mm-hmm. So if I charge $15 per game or per level, right? Because I would like for them to pay $15 every time another level is released. I would only need 667 customers to reach what I've put into it. So we're testing different things. We're testing that. We're testing maybe in-app advertisements for children-friendly retailers, but that's like a last option for me because I really don't want, I'm tired of exposing kids to different things. And I'd also like to test a subscription service to see if parents would like to pay maybe $15, $30 a month and get 2 levels a month. It's also a big financial advantage for corporations to charge money for additional things within the level. Like, so if a kid gets to a house and they decide they want to buy a car, the parent actually gives the kid like $5 so they can buy the car. And I don't know if parents are okay with that or if they'd rather just spend $15 or $20 for the level and the kid gets to do whatever they want. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So we're testing that as well as, like I was saying, one price per level.
Have you surveyed any parents?
Yes, I have.
Thank you. Good job.
Thank you.
And that concludes this segment. Thank you so much. Oh, go ahead, Chantel. Go ahead. I saw that you were disappointed, so go ahead.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's no problem. No, I think this is an excellent idea. I know from first-hand experience, like kids don't know what's going on when you get into that environment. You don't know how to react and what happens. So a game like this is very, very necessary.
Thank you.
I would say I'm not a parent, but I am involved in my nieces and nephews' life. Like I'm homeschooling my niece for the past few months, and it's crazy. But she plays games. Those in-app, those things are very dangerous. I cut her off from things because of what pops up, and you can't always control it. It can be kid friendly, and again, that could even be a predator. It could be anything. So as a very heavily involved auntie, and I know some of my sisters, we would rather pay for the app versus having there to be these extra things you pay for within the app. Just pay for everything up front, and she could use it. So
that's a lot of the feedback that I've gotten so far. So thank you for saying that.
Awesome. I think you answered my questions about the pricing point, $15 per app. So I think I'm good. That's all I want to say. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chantel. Thank you, Tara, for your presentation. And now we have our final contestant of the day, Tanzi Culler. If you can turn your camera on and I'll get the clock ready for you. Welcome, welcome.
Hello, how are you today?
We're doing well, and we're ready for your pitch. So your time starts now.
Hi, my name is Tanzi Culler. I am president and CEO of I Do Pretty Hair Restorative System. I Do Pretty was founded because of my hair problems. And so from those hair problems that I had, I began to experiment. I began to have a knowing of what to use in herbal products of what to put together. And so that was the beginning of I Do Pretty. And so one of the problems that we are dealing with is hair loss from pre and post-menopausal women. The second problem we are addressing is hair loss due to alopecia disease. And the third problem I Do Pretty is addressing is hair loss due to medical conditions. And I tell you, the results that we have been given, 6 months, we have been selling the product. The solutions are coming in. We have reduced shedding. We have thickness of hair. The hair shafts and follicles are being revived. The reversal of alopecia. We had one lady, 10 years of baldness. Do you know? Within 3 months of using the product, no more baldness. It strengthens the hair. It helps heal the scalp and it moistens the hair. I Do Pretty tea and product line has literally been changing lives. And he says, what is our kingdom advancement? I would say individually, I Do Pretty has been going in and helping individuals individuals to gracefully to begin to have dignity restored. Individually, it is dismantling shame, because now men and women now are able to wear their natural hair if they choose, if they desire so. And globally, what is I Do Pretty doing? You know, in December, I was on a medical mission, and we do medical missions. We went there with the medicine. We could not distribute the medicine because of Al-Qaeda. Came back to the States the first of the year, everything happened. And where we left the medicine, they called me. They said, Tanzi, do you know the meds that you brought here? Now we were able to distribute into an entire city in Jos, Nigeria. Not one hospital had any medication. So I Do Pretty has now partnered with the ministry. Hallelujah. Next, the product itself. I Do Pretty consists of 3 main products that I choose to highlight. One is the herbal tea. This comes in a 3-month supply. Why? Because everyone has a different starting point. So we guarantee after 3 months of using I Do Pretty herbal tea, there you go, herbal tea, that you will yield results. The second product that we choose to show you, this is the hair souffle. This is applied to the scalp. It is a root stimulator. Some people like the feel of oil. Some people like the feel of grease. The third item that we have, I'm probably now on slide number 4, if I can do that. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Uh-oh, I don't know what I did. So yes, so this is, and then the third item is the root stimulator. It helps to regenerate, revive the hair follicles. And what is our marketing strategy? Our marketing strategy is relationship marketing. Do you know that's how we are currently now in 7 states and 2 continents, is through relationship marketing. The next strategy is social media marketing. We have the word of mouth. That is the second way that we have now gone forth to where we are now. And then the last incentive, the last marketing is the referral marketing. The market size. We have a market size that we are addressing with hair loss treatment. The market size is $3.8 billion. Amen. $3.8 billion.
And your 4 minutes has concluded, so we will open the questioning. Thank you so much, Tanzi.
You're welcome so much.
And we will start with Chantel this time. So you can have as much time as you need of this 4-minute segment. Go ahead, Chantel.
I have a lot of questions. I think that the hair tea product is amazing. I want to buy some.
Yes.
I'm like, wow, hair tea. That I think that's great that you have products to tackle the inside and outside, you know, when it comes to hair growth. So that's great. I wanted to know what were your prices for the products?
Yes, the herbal tea is $60 for a 90-day supply. So you're roughly $20, $30 per month. Yes, for a 90-day supply of the herbal tea. The price point for the souffle, this is a 1-month supply. This is $30. And then for the root stimulator, this one is $39.99.
Thank you. Do you have a website?
I do. It is called Tanzi'sIDoPretty2.com.
Thank you. That's all questions.
And the Shopify will be up today. We do have the PayPal in place. So we do have systems in place for the current sales that we have been doing.
Awesome. And that's the platform that the Savannah, that could be something, you know, I think about that all the time, about the different networks and you all working together. That's I think you'd be a perfect candidate for that type of
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wendy?
Yes, hi. I totally, I'm all in terms of, I remember my daughter, when she had some hair loss at her hairline when she was little, because she had a reaction to a product.
Yeah.
And so having to go through that hair regrowth piece was, challenging and scary for a mother and a daughter. But so I appreciate you bringing this product to market. You said that you are already up and running.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. So give me a little bit of understanding of kind of where you are currently and what's creating the demand for you, and basically what you need at this juncture in your business cycle to take it to the next level.
The demand itself is hair loss.
Mm-hmm.
Hair loss. It's such a hidden undercurrent problem that many people are dealing with without speaking of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I Do Pretty has done, first of all, by being effective in my life and changing my hair. And it has been like a testimonial in front of so many people that they're saying, what are you using? I must have it. And so the demand is so many people are just silently suffering from baldness, hair loss, hair shedding, that we just think it is acceptable. But this I Do Pretty, the herbal tea exclusively, is restoring what God intended for the body to do. That is to grow hair. That is to have healthy hair. That is for a person to have a choice that if I choose to wear my natural hair, I can. If I choose to wear other dressings and covering, guess what? I can. But I would no longer get caught and be ashamed, because that's what happened to me. I didn't have time to put on a hair covering, and I had bald spots in my head, and I was literally ashamed. And he said, no more. Why should I have to be ashamed when everything I need here is here? And God has provided it. And so that's what I Do Pretty is doing. And so right now, going forth and 2021, 22, 23, we have broken our plan down into a 3-phase step. And going forth, for having the 2 years now, we are home based. Our studio, our design studio is here, and we're able projections to stay here for 2 years. And the third year, we will go forth. We will be hiring people. We will be buying brick and mortar because we know what the market would yield. Because we have walked into a market that is unchallenged. Do you know that the hair loss industry is not challenged? And if you have, which we do, a very good product, we know the door is open and we are prepared and we are ready to go and take the market. And so what do we need? We need customers. We need support. We need data. We need results, and which we have. I didn't get a chance to show you the slide, but it's amazing to see what has taken place. Starting from 7 days of using the product all the way to a 2 and 3 month period, undeniable results.
I would recommend that you include some before and afters, because what you're talking about is a very visual thing.
Yes.
And so it would be and client testimonials.
Yes, we had it on the slideshow, but it didn't upload.
Okay.
So I apologize for that.
Good job.
So yes, that is very, I do agree with you. That is. And that's what has sold it so far on our Facebook page. And people just watching their friends, the before and after, like, wait a minute, I just saw you. What have you done to your hair? And so, yes, you are so correct. That is so powerful to have the testimonials, and that's what has built the business thus far. Once again, we are in 7 states and in 2 continents from testimonials and people seeing the before and after of the post.
Thank you so much. Do either of Chantel or Tiffany have any final questions for Tanzi before we close this segment?
Yes, real quick question. Thank you, Ms. Tanzi. That was a great presentation. I realized that you have a proprietary blend with that tea, but can you talk a little bit about the ingredients, what herbs you use?
Yes, some I can share with you. Want me to share with you? It's a blend of 7 natural herbs. Our products are 100% all natural, and we're going for an organic seal next. So the blend, I can say, is like fig leaf. We have things like comfrey, and the tea also is a custom blend. We had one client who was allergic to sulfur, and one of the herbs where it came from was from that environment. And so I was able to go in and pull out that ingredient and then replace it with something else.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you so much for your presentation. And now we've come to the really fun time. We're going to have an intermission where now we'll go into the final tabulation and conference with the judges to determine who's the first, second, and third place winner. And when we come back, we will announce those winners live. And so it is 11:15, so please come back and be ready at 11:30 for the announcements. Additionally, what are you going to do right now? So go check out the virtual lobby. We have around 40 exhibitors in the virtual expo. Please go and take a look and check out those products and services there. And also know, if you'd like to chat with one of the exhibitors, you can go into the app and you can send them an email, but you can pull up their name and there is a chat feature where you can send them a note. And so please do that, please enjoy, and we'll be right back at 11:30. Okay, I know the contestant. Welcome back. We've had our time of tabulation, and we now know who the winners are. But before we announce it, we're going to have them stew just a little bit. First, I want to thank each and every one of the finalists. Thank you for your time and your dedication, and I want to applaud you for listening to the voice of God and moving forward and taking action to develop those ideas. We saw so many different ideas covering all different industries, and we know that we must take over all the 7 pillars, and I believe most of those were represented today. And then I'd like to thank our judges, our esteemed panel of judges, who are also sponsors of the conference in one way or another. We thank you, Wendy, for your time and being a corporate sponsor of the BLC this year. And Chantel, thank you as well for sponsoring one of our global emerging business awards, and Tiffany O'Day with Associated Bank. We really appreciate your support and sponsoring this entire business pitch competition. And with that, we have a commercial that's going to play right now. So please roll that. Tiffany, would you like to share any comments, please?
Absolutely. So as representing Associated Bank, would just like to say how proud we are to be a sponsor of this year's BLC pitch competition. And we thank you so much for your partnership. Really excited for all of the winners and all of the presenters with some really excellent ideas. So looking forward to seeing what all of you do in the future. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And how we're going to do this, I'm going to announce the 3rd place winner, the 2nd place winner, and then the 1st place winner. And when we announce that winner, we will open their video and they can share what they're feeling right now and knowing it. So I'm very proud to announce that the 3rd place winner in the BLC 2020 pitch is Virtue Ninja, Tara McKnight.
Yay! Woo! Hallelujah! Thank you! Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Would you like to share a couple of comments?
I just want you guys to know that I need this right now because I was in a car accident on the 10th. And I am sitting here with an IV in my arm presenting to you guys. So, and I'm like, okay, God, where you at? I need you to show up because sister girl, I believe in you, but where you at? So thank you, just thank you. I appreciate it.
And so along with that $1,000 check that's coming your way, we also have a pretty award that you'll be able to put in front. So anytime you need inspiration to keep going, you can look at that and see, you know, that your idea does have value. So celebrate you again, Tara. We're very happy for you.
Thank you.
And now the 2nd place winner, and that is a check for $2,500 and also another fancy plaque. Jalon Brown, Sahara's own. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I honestly am at a loss for words. I am so thankful. I feel so blessed. So thank you, Living Word. Thank you, Pastor Winston. Thank you to the judges. Thank you, Melissa, for answering all my calls and emails. Greatly appreciated.
Well, your idea is right on time, and it's nice to see young people launching businesses, and so know that JBS and the Small Business Development Center is here to continue and support you on your road. So just, you know, check in with us if you ever need anything. We believe in not leaving anybody behind and that there's no stillbirths. We're going to make sure everything comes whole circle. And congratulations again. I'm so excited. We got a little bit of feedback. Okay, that has been taken care of. And now I want to do drum roll. What we have been waiting for is the first place winner of $5,000 and a nice shiny plaque too. Code Classic Natasha Pham. Come on down.
Awesome! Woo! Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. Y'all have no idea. Oh man, I don't even know what to say. Thank you. Thank the judges. Thank Ms. Melissa, SBDC, Pastor Winston. This event period just, it's very ironic because my biggest hurdle was getting out of the negative space, the doubts, the naysayers, just the negative, the exact thing my brain is trying to bring out. That was my biggest hurdle. So this is a huge win for me in more ways than one. And I am very grateful for it and moving at full speed.
Well, congratulations to you, Natasha. And I'm glad that you shared it because what we have to remember in this time, we've been given like 8 months where we've been set aside. And sometimes it's really important to be set aside because sometimes when we're in a group, we get ideas and we hear things, but sometimes we're not sure. And if we're around, when we hear other people, we might think that our idea is not a good one. So this time, and I say this to everybody watching, you see what these presenters did, what these finalists did and their ideas. We know you have an idea too. And in this time where you can hear really clearly, where it's still, there's not as much activity, this is the time to take action. And this conference this weekend will be that other opportunity. There will be something you will hear. One of the speakers that you will hear, maybe in the financial boot camp that's going to start at 1, maybe with one of our other speakers, maybe when Dr. Winston closes us out with his visionary style. There's always a lot of nuggets if you listen to him. He's got instructions. So please, take time to still yourself, and the next idea you have, please take action. So I'm really excited about that for you, Natasha. Jalon and Tara, thank you so much. And we have a little bit of time. And so our judges are working with entrepreneurs, and they're seeing a lot as far as trends with people having to pivot to be able to stay in business, how things are happening. So I'd like to go to each one for them to give any words of wisdom to those of you listening on what you can do from this day forward to strengthen your position, whether you are launching or you're really looking to stay open and scale. I'll start with you, Chantel, then we'll do Wendy, and then final comments from Tiffany. So Chantel, go ahead.
I would say take advantage of all of the grants that are out right now. If you do a simple Google search, you can find grants for Black business owners, for restaurant owners, et cetera, during this time. Make sure you really do a lot of research on the loans that are offered right now, especially the SBA loans. I say that a lot of my clients that I got in on them about making sure they kept accurate payroll reports, et cetera. The people who didn't listen to me felt that earlier this year because they weren't able to take advantage of that PPP loan. So I would say just making sure you're doing your books, making sure you're keeping up with your reporting, and making sure that you're looking at all the different ways that you can get access to funding right now, because that's available. And CIBC is one of those banks that we are actually helping. We still have our program that we're helping small business owners get access to capital. So just make sure that you take advantage of all that. I can't hear you, Melissa.
Thank you, Chantel. Wendy?
Yeah, well, there's 2 key things in business. One is customers and the other one is capital. And that's just got to be your game, And the other thing that, what makes this opportunity, this platform so unique is that God is in it. And when God is in it, we're in it to win it. So just know and never forget, be mindful not to, not to hear God daily and seek him, because then everything will be added unto you and what he has given you to do. So those are my words of wisdom, to know that you already have what you need, but you gotta tap into it, and you gotta do some things that don't make sense. And because that's where your wealthy place is. So good job, everyone, and God bless.
Thank you so much for that. And Tiffany, your remarks?
Yes, so thank you again. I think we're often reminded of how important it is to stay connected with people. And I think that this pandemic has been evidence of that. So I would say during this time, make sure you're building out your own personal advisory council, so to speak, of bankers and attorneys and accountants, to the degree that you can do that without spending a lot of money, but making sure that you have access and resources that can help you when you undoubtedly have to pivot again, because it will happen, probably not to this scale, but it certainly will happen. And I would be remiss if I didn't say, as a banker, that bankers are great advisors. You can always run things past us as you prepare to either get capital or you just having ideas about your business. So I would say utilize and find a banker as soon as you can to sort of help you maneuver through any challenges that could potentially come up as you start to scale and start to look for additional capital. So congratulations to everyone again. It was really good. Thanks, Melissa.
Thank you again. Thank you. I got to give you all a great hand, because the judges also had time to review the presentations, and so they took time out of their busy schedules to make sure to give consideration to each finalist specifically. So I thank each and every one of you for being here today. And so we're coming up on the end of this session. So what happens now? There are a couple things that I need to tell you. First of all, write this down. Hashtag BLC, let me make sure, BLCJBS20. I blank for a minute. Hashtag BLCJBS20. That is the hashtag for this conference. Please use it now, use it often, and let us know what you think about the session. Share and make sure that you are registered in the app, because that will give you the ability to interact with individual participants that are also registered. Check out the company names, check out those people. Maybe you're looking to make a connection or you need something for your business, and that person is actually in the app. Also, stay tuned to the activity feed. We will be pushing out notifications of things that are happening and any changes to the schedule. All of that will be done in the app. And if you want to speak with me or one of our other advisors at SBDC, PTAC, or any of the other JBS programs, our Wealth Creation, our Executive Accelerator program, our campus or online 9-month program, our Justice Reform, our Rise Reentry program, you can find each and every one of us on the app, and we'll be there to help you and answer your questions. And so we're going to have a short break, but at 1 p.m. today, the financial boot camp will take place. And when talking about finances, understanding how to invest socially responsible, we have Valerie Grant and then Billy Epperhart. They are going to come forward with some great tips. So you need to be ready to take notes, and you need to be ready to be engaged so that you can understand how to use what you already have in your house to multiply it and to increase. And again, to our founder, Dr. Bill Winston, this platform is happening because of his vision. And to our president, Dr. Dolores Brown, who is president and COO of the Joseph Business School, we are pivoting and innovating right now. I would hazard to say there's not another church with a platform like this. So please experience, Stay tuned and visit all of the booths. One other housekeeping note, the Joseph Business School alumni event, that is an alumni only event. That is not for the general public. So when that time of networking takes place, it's an excellent opportunity for you to go and visit the exhibitors and also hear about one of our excellent workshops. We have a virtual trade mission where you can find out where you are at home, how you can do business in other countries. And so we have Nigeria, South Africa, Dubai, Tanzania, and Jamaica featured. So please take your time, take notes, stay tuned throughout this next 2 days of amazing opportunities to unleash your greatest potential. Thank you. Come back at 1 p.m.